We got some breaking news from the official Storm Bears Twitter. They tweeted out earlier in the week the Storm Bears are making an aggressive push towards NHL Blackhawks forward Nick Schmaltz. Prospect Ozarek and forward Christian Fischer are on the move to Chicago. Picks may be involved. Right after that, Storm Bears Central was quick to it, and they say, keep in mind, nothing is guaranteed until the trade call is finished. Things fall through all the time. He also went on to say that it sounds like they're very close or potentially even finished the deal. More depth down the middle for Seattle and a much-needed middle six winger for the Blackhawks. But going back to what he said, nothing is guaranteed until the trade call is finished. That is true. Things do fall through all the time. And I don't know who runs the Storm Bears Twitter, but whoever's doing it, put that little rumor out there, and over Storm Bears Twitter, it's kind of spread like wildfire. But let's see if we can make it happen. All right, what's going on, Seattle Storm Bears fans, and welcome back to our franchise mode. In this episode, we are going to get the rest of the year done and see about the postseason. I don't want to look too much in the future. I just want to focus on the next game, which is on the 29th against the Winnipeg Jets. But we have bigger fish to fry, and that being the trade deadline. Now, we're doing really, really well. All right, so you can see here, where are we? I think, yeah, we're tops of the Pacific Division by 5 points over our expansion brother. But I want to go over some comments here, and the first comment comes from Cedric Corey, the official Twitter. He says, nice to see a Brazilian player get drafted by the Storm Bears. Welcome, Big Mac. So, you know, it's good to see the boys are meshing a little bit. I like to see that a lot. Obviously, Agent C leading the way offensively, has 47 goals. Honestly, is it too crazy to think he'll hit 60 in, you know, a little under 20 games left? I think he could do it. If anyone could do it, it's going to be this guy. He loves to shoot hockey pucks, loves to score goals, 253 shots on the year. That is ridiculous. Jay Palmer says, who made the team out of camp? You know who it is. What are you asking? You already know who it is. It's the man, the myth, the legend, Ty Ronning made the team out of camp. All right, so the next comment here comes from the Canadian Leo. He says, loving the series tech, keep it up. If it were me, I would trade Christian Fischer, trade him for a nice second line winger to play with your centers. Now, that's kind of the opposite of what I want to do. I want to trade him for center to play with our wingers. He also says, if you could do me a favor, do a Philly GM mode. Well, we'll maybe look to Philly GM mode for NHL 19 because we're doing this for the rest of NHL 18. We could go 25 years. Who knows? I'm having a lot of fun, and it looks like you guys are enjoying it as well. Slim Jim says, this is the most entertaining GM series he's ever seen. He's watched for a lot of years on a lot of different channels. Look forward to every video. Thank you, guys. Thank you for all the support. I've been having so much fun doing this. You don't even realize, like, on my way home from work, all I can think about is coming home and just recording this. It's so much fun for me, and I'm glad you guys are enjoying it too. That's a huge part of it. All right, so now that we know that Ty Ronning made the team out of camp, we know that you guys are loving the franchise mode, we know we got Big Mac between the pipes, and we know we got Agent C scoring goals, it's time to circle back to the hot rumor on Twitter right now, which is Nick Schmaltz coming to the Seattle Storm Bears. So you look at our team right now. First line, absolutely lethal. They're all under 22 years old, and they're all first liners, unbelievable players, right? We don't got to worry about our first line whatsoever. Our second line, however, Pierlini's coming into his own, which is awesome. He's got almost 15 goals on the year. Christian Dvorak is kind of the perfect third line center. If we could have Christian Dvorak forever as our third line center, I would love that. All right, 24 years old. He's a two-way forward. He's kind of built for the third line penalty kill minutes, which is kind of what I want him to be. All right, and then Michael Dow Cole, who is surprisingly, jumping up there to 84 overall. I think if we get him a really good center, I think you could see this guy hit maybe in the next year 25 goals. He's got the potential. He's still young enough. He's 84 overall. I think that could be awesome. So what are we missing? It's pretty obvious we're missing a second line center. All right, now I've shopped around the NHL a little bit. I've decided, I have a few players in mind who I kind of want to go after. There's the rumors on Twitter that it's going to be Bo Horvat. I saw some Storm Bears insiders saying, "Oh, Bo Horvat's going to come to Vancouver." We got rumors of Jonathan Toews, of Evgeny Malkin. No. You guys are all wrong. All right, you guys are all wrong. The Nick Schmaltz rumor is true. I'm actively shopping to get Nick Schmaltz. Now that means we're going to have to part ways with a player. Now, now, I think it's going to have to be Christian Fischer. He's got 18 points this year. He's not having a great year. After scoring 20 goals in his sophomore year, I guess kind of in his rookie year, I guess that was technically his rookie year, since he did play 7 games here. I just don't think he fits right now. Like, I have guys that I could rather play on the third line wing, like Brady Tkachuk, as opposed to Christian Fischer. Now, I could play him on the fourth line, but really he's wasted on the fourth line. I like Christian Fischer. I think he's a good player. I like what he brings, but, you know, we're going kind of in a different direction. We have our wingers kind of set. We have prospect wingers that are still in the system that I got to bring up eventually. Like, you know, we got some guys who are going to be NHL ready in 1 or 2 years, and I don't really want to waste my time with an 83 overall player who we don't really need. And I don't want to play Christian Dvorak in a role that he's not suitable for. He's a good third line center. He's not a good second line center. So I think I've explained myself enough. We are going to be actively shopping Christian Fischer, and I'm going to try to see if I can make a trade for Chicago forward Nick Schmaltz. All right, so let's go here. Let's take our time with this one. Let's not rush it. If we can get it done quick, great, but I want to make sure this trade makes sense for both sides. So right away, you look at the Hawks. They are a rebuilding team. They are 25, 32, and 7. After their playoff success, 3 Stanley Cups in 6 years, whatever it was, they're now on a rebuild. All right, now they got kind of a problem because they have too many centers. They have ADB as their first line center, obviously Alex DeBrincat, 88 overall, 22 years old. That's a guy you kind of build your team around. That's like a Dylan Strome, you know, that's a guy you really want to put players around him that are going to succeed because he makes everyone better. That's fine. All right, and then they got a second line center in Jonathan Toews, who's a really good second line center. Or you could go vice versa. Maybe Alex DeBrincat takes over the first line minutes next year, but basically they have their 1-2 centers basically set. And then there's Nick Schmaltz, who's better than a third liner, way better than a fourth liner, should be a second line center. That's his role. Plus they got Anisimov, all right? Now Anisimov is a perfect third line center, so they're kind of wasting Schultz, and I think that's a perfect opportunity for us to go ahead and make a trade for a young player who's on a pretty good contract, 4 years at 4.6. He's a high top 6 at 24 years old. If he caps out at 87, 88 overall, that's perfectly fine. Having a pretty good year this year. He's got 44 points in 64 games. Now, let's see what kind of position they're in for wingers. Could they use a depth winger? It looks like they can. It looks like they have 1 NHL left winger in Brandon Saad, and then 2 NHL right wing. I guess 3 when you look at Hossa, Hinostroza, and obviously Patrick Kane. So they really could use a winger. I mean, they're hurting. Aside from their big guns like Kane, Saad, DeBrincat, Toews, they're kind of hurting. Keith's a lot older now. I just don't think Schmaltz really fits into a rebuild right now. So I'm going to go ahead and try to see if I can trade for Nick Schmaltz. All right, now we're going to have to offer up a little bit. I think we're going to have to see that 44 overall draft pick go bye-bye. Ozrek. Now, I got a few comments saying, dude, hang on to this guy. I want to see how a 44, oh, yeah, sorry, he's actually 49 overall now. He's grown a little bit. All right, but I don't want to wait that long. I just said I want to go 25 years with this franchise mode, but I think if we can cash in on something that's not going to be ready for 5 or 6 years, why not, right? Why not? And it looks like they need defensive prospects as well. I think they need prospects in every kind of area because they're hurting. I mean, they have this guy who's 54 overall, Connor Murphy's NHL ready. They don't really have any decent prospects, so he automatically becomes their best prospect, even at 50, what is it? Sorry, not even 50, 49 overall. Oh man, the poor guy. You know, I think we're in the position that we could move a defensive prospect. We got guys like, obviously, Partanen now, who's NHL ready. Chychrun, who's going to be elite very soon. We got Subban, who's going to be coming up in the next few years. We got a few prospects here and there. Travis Sanheim's made his way onto the NHL. Carlson, like, we got some prospects, so I think we can afford to get rid of him. Now, another big thing comes in Christian Fischer. All right, I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry. I'd love to have you on the squad forever, but it's just not working out. Good luck in Chicago. It's going to be a tough go there. It kind of sucks because Christian Fischer was a part of the Storm Bears when they were really bad for 2 years. They were terrible, and now we're just getting good, and we ship him off to a super shitty team. So I'm sorry, Christian Fischer. Good luck, buddy. I know the boys are going to miss you in the room. Who are you friends with, actually? Max Domi in Columbus. He's best friends with. It's almost right to send the guy to Columbus, but we're not going to do that. Nick Schmaltz. Who are you associated with? Oh, it actually doesn't say. I'd have to wait till I trade for him, I guess. But Ozrek and Christian Fischer, I don't think are going to get the job done. Now, since we're getting a young player who is still got some growth in him, I'd be okay with getting rid of a pick. Now, I think I'm going to get the second round pick from Tampa that we got in the deal. Who do we, Darcy Kemper, right. We got a second and a third for Darcy Kemper, which is crazy. So this trade really does make sense for both sides. So they get a rebuilding pick, they get a good depth player, which they really need. He can even play in their top 6. And they get a decent, I mean, call him decent if you want, but a project, that's for sure, a prospect defenseman for Nick Schmaltz. They want to get rid of him. This trade should go through. Trade rejected. Okay, we're going to have to make it, maybe I'll throw in a third. I don't mind giving them some more picks that are a rebuilding team. They want the picks. Will a third push this over the edge? Trade accepted. I am happy to accept this proposal on behalf of the Chicago Blackhawks. We consider it a done deal. There you go. Nick Schmaltz, welcome to the Seattle Storm Bears. The morale is up for trading for a quality player. I love it. That's a great move. Thank you, Chicago. You guys got what you're looking for. I got what I'm looking for. Now we can really move our lines around here. This is kind of exactly what I wanted. I wanted Tkachuk to play on the third line with Dvorak and Ronning, Dow Cole, Schmaltz, Pierlini, Keller, Strome, Agent C. We got Kosmachuk, Bozak, and McInnes. I think that's fine. I think we'll play McInnes in his natural position. I think that's a better move than having Tyler Bozak there. Defensively, we are all good. Sanheim over Partanen. I guess we'll play Travis Sanheim there. We'll put Partanen down there. And then in the cage, you already know who it is. The Brazilian butterfly, Franklin McKenzie. He's the backup, sorry. He's not the starter yet. Philip Grubauer, who's actually becoming a pretty good goaltender for us. I'm really glad that we picked him up in free agency. 6 shutouts on the year. The guy's absolutely killing it. So we made our big move. We're ready to go towards the postseason. We are all but ready to get things underway. So let's go ahead and skip over the trade deadline. We may get one more offer because I have our trade deadline thing all the way up. Joachim Nordstrom. All right, so a 78 overall depth player, it looks like. He's a 4th line forward. He's making 1.4 for the next 2 years. 19 points. He's kind of like a Scott Kosmachuk, maybe a little bit better. 2 years, listed as a 4th liner. You know what? We got Scott Kosmachuk. I'm going to say no. Let's see if we had the biggest trade over the course of the trade deadline. I think we touched on most of the trades last time. Yeah, like the Nick Ritchie, Kevin Shattenkirk. We already looked at those deals. I think the only ones we haven't saw are, I guess, our trade. And it looks like that was the waiver pickup there with Joachim Nordstrom was the Vegas Knights. They acquired Josh Manson and defenseman Alexei Emelin. So a couple defensemen, and they got Patrick Eves for a first and a prospect. So a pretty quiet trade deadline day. Now let's write down the stats of Nick Schmaltz really quickly. I want to see how many points, how many goals, how many assists he has on our squad with his new line mates as opposed to his old teammates here. So he's got no locker room chemistry yet. Obviously just made the team. Obviously, first game, doesn't really know anyone yet. We're going to see what he can do in his first game against the Winnipeg Jets. In front of the home fans, we got Nick Schmaltz making his debut for the Seattle Storm Bears. First period, Scott Kosmachuk, the former Winnipeg Jet, scores 4th liner there, 1-0. Going into the second, all right, 2-0. Agent C with his 48th goal of the year. Can he hit 49? Can he hit 50 in this game? Who knows? Travis Sanheim makes it 3-0 from above the right face-off circle, and that's how this one's going to end. Who got the shutout there? Was that the 7th shutout of the year for Philip Grubauer? It was. There you go. Now, in his debut, did Nick Schmaltz do anything special? Let's see what he did. Just to have a quick look here, Nick Schmaltz had 17 minutes of ice, had an assist. There you go. It's off to a great start. He's got 1 point in 1 game. Now, do we have any games against the Hawks? That's what I'm interested in. I want to slow sim some of those, if we have any. So we're up to 82 points now. We're definitely a playoff team, which is awesome. So let's see. Any any games against the Hawks? We do. We have one against the Hawks here on the 21st, and that's it. Okay, so we'll slow sim the game against the Hawks. Slow sim a few more before the end of the year, but I think we're going to be a much better team with Nick Schultz on our hockey club. 5-0 win. All right, we're doing all right here. We're 42-23-9. Big 5-3 victory there. All right, let's see if Christian Fischer can get his revenge on the old team. He's not happy that he was dealt. He liked the guys. He liked the dressing room. Unfortunately, buddy, you have to make a hockey trade, and that's that. Let's go. Period number 1. All right, it's a 2-1 hockey game. Nick Schmaltz scores on his old team. I love it. Attaboy, Nick Schmaltz. DeBrincat and Hossa both score on Frank the Tank. Big Mac McKenzie. Period number 2. All right, 3-2. DeBrincat gets another, and the $12 million man, Tyler Bozak. Let's go into the third. Let's slow sim this one. Maybe we can get another goal from Nick Schmaltz. Maybe we tie it up, go into overtime. If we go into overtime, maybe I'll go into the actual play now simulation. And there you go, Tyler Bozak. He made the team out of camp. Ty Ronning. He scores. What a goal. We might not need overtime. Ty Ronning makes the team out of camp, and he snipes one for the game winner. Attaboy, Ty Ronning. I love the kid. He is just the greatest. There you go. And in his return to Chicago, looks like Nick Schmaltz had the one goal, one shot. That's all he needed. He's loaded up, ready to go. Now, how about, where is he? Christian Fischer, no shots, 15 minutes of ice. Is a bittersweet return. I'm sorry, buddy. Now, let's have a look at some goal watch here for Agent C. Is he at 50? He's got to be at 50 goals. Look at Clayton Keller, 84 points, 16 goals on the guy. He is just the assist master, up to 90 overall. And Agent C has 55 goals. Yeah, he's winning the Art Ross, and he's probably going to hit 60 goals. Ty Ronning with 24. This guy's a sniper right out of camp. 55 goals. Oh, my God. I don't think we have another 20-goal scorer aside from Ty Ronning and Agent C. So the hunt is on for 60 goals for Agent C. Can you believe that? 60 goals in a rookie year. Okay, he needs to get 5 more. We'll check back in after these 3 games against Nashville, Calgary, and Los Angeles. All right, so 3-2 overtime loss, 3-1 win, and a 4-3 loss. So that's 6, 7, 8 goals that we scored. How many of those were from Agent C? All right, so 8 goals were scored, and how many of them were from the GOAT himself, the potential 60-goal man? 3 of our last 8 goals were from Agent C. He's got 58. Okay, we got to start slow simming some games here. I want to see who he scores 60 on. 60 in his rookie year. Has that happened since, this has got to be the first time since Timu, right? It has to be. Has to be. He's not going to beat 76, but to go into the history books as the second highest rookie scorer of all time, I think that's amazing. Can he do it on home ice? He needs 2 goals. Agent C, let's go. First period. All right, 2-2. We got Ryan McInnes and we got Travis Sanheim scoring. Tavares and Zakhanov, the 5th overall pick from last year's draft, going into the second. All right, they get another one. Matthew Barzell going into the third. We get 1, but they also get 1. We drop this game. OEL, unfortunately, wasn't quite enough. No goals for Agent C. All right, he needs 2 more goals. He's got 1, 2, 3 games to do it. Oh, man. The pressure is on, Agent C. The pressure is on. We're in the playoffs, no question, but can you hit 60 goals? That'll be the cherry on top of this year. First period up against the Sharks, 0-0. Period number 2. Oh my God, 5-0. This game is over. I'm just going to click A and hope for the best. 6-0. Okay, we're going to pretend that game didn't happen, all right? We're done with that. We're moving right on. Moving along to Edmonton. That's enough of that one. That was unfortunate. That was not a great game. All right, Edmonton, come on. You do it. You can do this against Connor McDavid. Show McDavid who the best young scorer in the NHL is. It's Agent C. No, just kidding. It's Jacob Chychrun. He scores there on Al Montoya. Going into the second, Lucic, come on. Can we get an Agent C goal? No, he's going right down to the wire. But we won the game, which is good. Clayton Keller and Ryan McInnes. I think I'm jinxing him a little bit. I think I'm doing it. You know what? I'm not going to. You know what? I am. I'm going to sim it. I'm going to do it. I have to do it. I have to see this guy score 60 goals, all right? I have to do it. Maybe it goes into overtime and he needs 1 goal and it's the 60th goal. All right, come on, Agent C. No pressure. I'm not even going to talk about it. Let's just beat the LA Kings on the road. Let's go. Period number 1. We're down by 1. Tyler Toffoli. Period number 2. Okay, Christian Dvorak. He gets 1. It's a 1-1 hockey game going into the 3rd. 17-16 are the shots. Pretty even on the power play. Don't get a power play goal. All right, it's fine. It's fine. 11 minutes left. Jacob Chickering gives us the lead. That's a couple of goals in his last few outings here. Is that going to be the game-winning goal? 4 minutes left. They're probably pulling the goalie. It's a good chance to hit 59. No, Agent C ends the year with 58 goals. You know what? That's fine. 58 is absolutely incredible. It would have been awesome to see him hit the 60 mark, but maybe I jinxed it. You know what? I think this was my fault. I think I jinxed it. That was probably my fault. I apologize, Agent C. I'm sorry, buddy. Okay, so we finished the tops of the Pacific Division with 102 points. Here's how everyone else did. Tampa Bay was just in a league of their own, 57-19. All right, let's do a little bit of a recap here. You know what? Actually, I got to find out who we're playing in the postseason here. I got to find out who do we have in round number 1. Our first ever playoff matchup. Playoff hockey is coming to Seattle. There's Starbucks and rain for everyone. Who do we got in round number 1? Let's go. We got the Vancouver Canucks. Oh, baby. All right, 2 rebuilding teams. Looks like they're on the up and up now. That is awesome. We got my Vancouver Canucks versus my Seattle Storm Bears. That's awesome. Okay, so let's do a bit of a recap here. Let's do an entire season recap. We'll have a look at Schmaltz. We'll have a look at all that fun stuff. But there you go. All right, we got the Canucks. That's awesome. They had 93 points in the regular season, 42, 31, and 9. Let's go the entire NHL here. So where do we go? We finished 5th, which is pretty damn good. So we got home ice advantage, which is awesome. Goals for, we finished in the top 10. No, looks like we're just outside there. Looks like we're middle of the road. Yeah, well, maybe not. We're bottom 10. That's not that great. I mean, we had 58 goals scored by Agent C. He scored a lot of our 230 goals. Goals against, 201. So, yeah, we're right there. We did not allow a lot of goals. I mean, yeah, we played really well. And that's in big part to Philip Grubauer, and it's also in big part to Big Mac. Power play goals, we scored 60 power play goals, which is pretty damn good if I say so myself. That's best for 3rd in the NHL. Power play percentage was 24th, and that's best for 5th in the NHL. That's pretty damn good as well. Going into penalty kill percentage, 82%. That's really damn good. We're in the top, 5 for most of the major categories, which is awesome. Looks like on the road and home, we're pretty similar. We like playing at home in the Starbucks Center. Okay, that's awesome. What a success. What a great year this has been. Now let's go into individual stats. Let's have a look at everyone, how they did. Clayton Keller, 91 points. Okay, hold on here. Just looking right away, we only had one other 20-goal scorer, and the other one was 58 by Agent C. Oh my God, 24 goals for Ty Ronning, and the rest were from Agent C. Goal wasn't scored by Agent C. It may have been scored by Ty Ronning, and if it wasn't by those two, your guess is as good as mine. That's unreal. Those guys carried our team. 58 goals. But we can't overlook Clayton Keller's 74 assists. And Dylan Strome played really well on that first line too. That was his kind of first big year in the NHL. Last year, 39 points the year before. But this one was the coming out party. 66 points. Playing alongside of a sniper like Cedric Corey is probably pretty easy. I think he inflated the points a little bit, but Clayton Keller and him seemed to be just a match made in heaven with 74 helpers. So Nick Schmaltz, he had 52 points. Let's do some math here. Let's see how many games he played, how many points he had. So Nick Schmaltz played 18 games with his new team, and he only had 8 points. But it's okay. It's all good. He's best friends with Ty Ronning because he made the team out of camp. He appreciates that. That's all right. You know what? It's all good. I didn't see his plus-minus before. I'm okay with that. 52 points, that's fine. Coming into a new team, you spent your whole entire career in Chicago. Took a little bit of time to get used to. It's all good, buddy. No worries. We're looking forward We're looking for you to put some numbers up in the postseason, though. But, I mean, aside from our first line, there's a lot of minuses out there. Not a lot of players scoring a lot of goals, aside from Tyroning. Having a look at goaltenders, we got Philip Grubauer, who went 35-21. That's very impressive. For a free agent goalie with 8 shutouts? Man, this guy may have earned himself a job for next year. And Frank the Tank Big Mac McKenzie had a winning record in his rookie year. 21 games played, 11-6, up to an 83 overall. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. There's how the rookies did, but honestly, Cedric Corey, I assume he has the Calder Trophy on lock. Unless, Felix Pox had 94 points. Wow, so we had more points, but Agent C scored a shitload of goals. Look at all the rookies here. Look at all the rookies with over 30 points. Look at all the rookies with over 50 points, maybe even 60 points. Elias Pettersson right there, Marcus Forsberg, Zakhanov, Corey, and Pox. All right, so Agent C is the 88 overall, but Pox has the 87. So, I mean, I think maybe Felix Pox is more well-rounded. Maybe he's got, he's got the assists, he's got better passing. But Agent C is a pure sniper, kind of like a Crosby and Ovi type thing. Is that a fair comparison? But I think this time Ovi's going to get some Stanley Cup rings, where the Crosby might be on the outside looking in. I think we got the better player here. Have a look at the entire NHL. Is he winning the Rocket Richard? No, he's not. He's second place. Wow, to Ovi's 66 goals. Holy shit. That's impressive. So have a look at Felix Pox's line mate here. Dylan Larkin had 91 points to match his overall. And his jersey number, is he 91? Maybe not. This is the guy that the Wild traded to the Bruins. That's ridiculous. Patrick Laine had 44. Look how many 40 goal scorers there are. Ridiculous. Brendan Gallagher up to an 87. I didn't even edit him, I don't think. 38 goals. I think it's because everyone else is so much better. Like, if you make, obviously I made Ovi a lot better, so it's going to make players like Jacob Verana better if he plays with Ovi. So I think upgrading one player will have a large effect on upgrading everyone else. Like, obviously playing Dylan Larkin with Felix Pox, that makes those two guys so dynamic. That's awesome. I guess Gustav Nyquist, oh no, he's on Philadelphia. He was traded around there. So one more thing we got to do, check out goalies for fun. I assume it's going to be Vasilevsky at the top. Nope, Jonathan Bernier. Okay, not expecting that. 11 shutouts. This guy's ridiculous. Now, one thing I want to do is check out the boys. Check out some traded players. Check out some guys we let go. Let's go over to Chicago, I guess, and let's check out, there's Paul Silas, the 6'9", 244 enforcer. Only 20 penalty minutes for an enforcer? Really? All right, he's the gentle giant, I guess. Let's see how, where is he? Christian Fischer. I think he had 26 points before. Can someone go back and check? I don't know. Maybe he had less. Let's go check out Colorado. We got, where is he? Lawson Krause, 36 points to 83 overall. Rasmus Dahlin there, 87 overall, 35 points. And we got one more, which is Max Domi, and he had 38 points, 84 overall. So there you go. I think we made the right choices in getting rid of those players. That is a nasty first line there in Detroit. Oh my god. That's ridiculous. Mantha, Larkin, Pox, that is sick. And they got Athanasiou and Zetterberg and Helm and Svechnikov and Chris Stewart. Yeah, they're stacked. They're a stacked team over there in Detroit. So I'll see you guys in round number 1 against the Vancouver Canucks. Seattle Storm Bears are back in the postseason. I'm actually just getting word right now. I just got a text from our marketing department that every single ticket for game number 1 is sold out. Even game number 2 and 4 and 5, all sold out. Every game in Seattle sold out. You can't buy a ticket. Fans are stoked for playoff hockey, and I can't wait to bring that to them. I'll see you guys in the next one.